Elise has now published the sales for 2020, minus 13.3% organic. Unfortunately, this means that many of my predictions of last year have come true. And in this video, I want to summarize the key points of this release and also try to make a forecast for the textile service industry in Europe for 2021. So stay tuned. Hi, my name is Christian Wurzelbauer. I support the textile service industry with management training, now in Textile Service 4.0, and practical hints that you can implement right away. So if you are new to this channel, just consider subscribing, and it's good if you like the video. It's like a tip for the YouTuber in this case. Now first an update of Elise. So they reported minus 13.3% revenue in 2022 and an increase in revenue in healthcare, a decrease of 3% in industry, a decrease of 5% in trade and services, and 70% in hospitality, at least in the fourth quarter. It's and this is actually organic. So the real revenue of Elise is minus 14.5. I personally was not so aware that there is a currency crisis in South America right now, but obviously the revenue is up on an organic basis in South America, but the currency is down, so the overall effect on Elise is negative for South America. Elise has about 25% of revenue in Europe, and the mix of Elise is very similar to the whole European industry. So it's interesting to have a look at Elise, and then you can extrapolate the impact on a European scale. Some remarks from Elise. They have a lower customer turnover. They say it's because of quality, so that quality is good, or maybe quality is even up. Personally, for me, this is a question mark, because we will see in 2022 whether the customer turnover will be even greater, because right now not many customers want to change their supplier. They have new offerings this is the German word, in uniforms and in hygiene, and the EBITDA is better than last year, and the free cash flow should also be better than last year. And they will present the annual results in March 9. The shares of Elise are down 31% in the last 12 months, and they are down 46% over the last 3 years. So Elise doesn't have just a COVID-19 crisis, but also a structural problem. I've made some videos about this in German, and I will translate them in the next few weeks into English. So subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss out when I publish valuable information about the market. I tried to make some forecast last year at the beginning of the crisis and then in summer. I want to share with you a little bit the Excel table. So what I did was that I got the total revenue of the textile service industry, which is about 12 billion euros, an estimation. And there is also an estimation about the different sectors of the industry in Europe. And Elise is more or less a quarter. So and also the mix between the services of Elise and the total services of the textile service industry in Europe is more or less the same. Of course, there's a difference in reporting, and you cannot reconcile it completely, so there will be a difference, of course. But more or less, you can say that the impact of a crisis like this one on Elise is also reflected in the whole market of Europe. So what I did, I do not have the seasonality, and this is one of the main weaknesses of this chart. So nobody publishes his seasonality. Therefore, I tried to map the impact of the COVID-19 crisis on the revenue on the different services. And I did this in April last year, and then I made a follow-up in June. And I did a new one now this year, and I want to present you the results of this analysis. So healthcare is up about 2%, and this reflects also my observation, especially in nursing homes. The usage of linen is much higher. Some hospitals have still lack of capacity because they need to have spare capacity because of COVID-19. But COVID-19 patients need more linen. So all over you have an increase of 2%. And there is a good chance that this is also a long-term increase. So I would expect that even in the long run after this COVID-19 crisis, the linen usage is higher, maybe even more than 2%. So I think there is some growth there. The industry right now, as reported by Elise, is down 3%. And personally, I expect that this could be a longer-term decline in the revenue because many companies face issues regarding COVID-19 and also structural crisis. So I would not be surprised if industrial revenue will be very slow in the next 2 to 3 years. Hotel revenue is crazy. We had actually a quite good summer. The summer was almost as good as the year before. And at this point of time, many people were relieved and obviously have not ordered enough vaccines for this winter season. And right now, and COVID-19, the virus is obviously more active during winter. So we have now the problem in winter, and the fourth quarter is minus 70% at Elise. And minus 70% means probably that we are right now at minus 80 or minus 90% even. Because October was most probably at minus 30, minus 50%. So I would assume that we right now are at minus 90%. And I would expect that there is recovery in the next months, but it will take until April, May, that the recovery really picks up. So I would expect that the first quarter is even worse than the fourth quarter, or at least as bad. And that the whole year will be affected because there are forecasts that international travel will take 2 to 4 years to completely recover from the crisis. So we can expect that hospitality will not be 100% the same even in next fall. And when we look at the total market and also assume again assume that it follows Elise, then we had 13.3% last year, minus 13.3%. And we will have an issue in the first quarter, I think. So the fourth quarter was something like minus 15%. And we will be something like between minus 15 and minus 18 probably in the first quarter. And then there will be some recovery, but my expectancy is something like minus 11% for the whole year of 21. So 21 will be probably a little bit better than 2020, but not for much because the the winter lockdown is probably almost as serious as the whole lockdown in the last year. So this is my assessment of the situation, of course. Last year I was quite on the spot, so my forecast was minus 15%, and it turned out to be minus 13.3%. And of course I can be completely wrong this year, but of course this is just a forecast. So this was now an analysis of Elise and also a forecast of the industry, at least in Europe. Each country, each continent is different, of course, and therefore you have to analyze the situation yourself for your company. And for this exercise, I've provided you a free download. You find the link in the YouTube description, and it takes only, I don't know, 2 hours, 4 hours to do it. So it's not a scientific exercise, it's very, very practical. And you get also very valuable action points in this situation. And therefore I want to make a contribution to the industry in this dreadful time. And if you are an entrepreneur and if you need somebody to talk to, you can apply for a strategy session with myself. And the link to this is also in the YouTube description. So just apply for the strategy session and we'll take it from there. And last but not least, like this video, subscribe to this channel for more information about textile service, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.